Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's it. Last stream I did go over like the AI logic where I made an NPC kind of chase me, but I wanted to like work on the code part a bit more, so I created a new project or a new file where I was trying to implement that logic on my own. Today I'm going to be continuing that, so let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Hiding up for appreciated joining the stream. Okay, and guys, kind of ignore my lighting today. It's kind of awful. Okay, that's it. Let's say something like Sensei live exclamation. Let's go with some. Guys, let's go with something like cap. Sensei live exclamation. Okay, and while actually Gemini is replying, actually while Claude is replying, because I started using Claude these days. Okay, alright, listen up. You're live, which means it's time to work, not time to mess around. I see what's happening here. You've been bouncing between V language, Unity, Unreal Engine 5, and C++ like you're shopping for snacks. What up, guys? Is this even the correct chat? Okay, maybe not. Just so it says a valid month, blah blah blah. Okay, hold up, guys. I think I'm in the wrong chat. Adding abilities. Okay, there we go. I think this was, guys, I've been working on like so many chats that I need to like kind of start them out. So let's go ahead and delete this. There we go. And then let's go to my latest chat up here. This was the chat that I worked on last stream. So let's say something like Sensei, I'm live exclamation in this chat. There we go. Okay, which AI is better besides ChatGPT? Honestly, I would like to use Gemini if you want to send a lot of pictures and all that stuff. Because the reason I moved on to Gemini from ChatGPT, because while I was doing Unreal Engine is because I just don't need help with code in Unreal Engine. I do need help with the engine itself. For example, I gotta send pictures. There are like a lot of options to explore and all that stuff, so I do need help with those. So you gotta literally like visually show Gemini or like the AI what you mean for that. And I use Claude for like the actual program because like Claude is pretty good when it comes to programming type stuff. Okay, that's it. Alright, your stream is watching. You made solid progress. Blah blah. Okay, this is like the basic chat. That said, I forgot what I was gonna say. This was the code that I worked on last stream where I had two characters. First is Lisa, who's the character that I'm going to be spawning, and the second is Tom, who's my actual character that is going to be doing the spawning. So let's kind of review the code real quick. I added my camera, boom, I added my follow camera, I added mapping context and all that basic stuff, okay. For my Lisa, I was working on, okay, adding my types. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was just trying to recall where I stopped last stream because I did not have the time to go over this off stream. So I gotta work on defining the update state logic function that I declared in my header files. Okay, what you doing, little bro? Honestly, I'm working on some game logic in Unreal Engine 5 because I feel like I gotta be done with my series in like less than 100 days now, so gotta be kind of prepared. Okay, that's it. So under my begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like, what was my function name? Update state logic function. Let's go with something like update state logic function. Okay. Alright, bro. Howdy, Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. Bro, lock in. Let's go. Let's lock in, guys. Okay, that's it. Now, for my update state logic function, firstly, I'm gonna go with something like a void function from my atoms class, and then I'm gonna use the scope resolution operator to grab my, whoops, did I kinda, okay, I think I deleted my Unreal Engine configurations. That's fine. Okay, let's copy this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get a hold of my update state logic function. Then I'm going to add a prof curly braces. Now, inside my state, I have three kinds of states, idle, chasing, and attack. So I'm going to kind of move between those. So firstly, I'm going to work on with my idle state. Before that, do I need something? Let's think. Okay, did you really move apartments? Honestly, I did. That's the reason I got like a lot of space in the back and I can actually do workout streams. I'm actually thinking this Tuesday I should really go on with a workout stream, but in the other hand, I did want to work with, whatchamacallit, this is going to be Lisa. I did want to work with Blender because I needed to, whatchamacallit, guys, I cannot phrase, because I needed some meshes by the end of my series here. Okay, how push-ups can you do straight without a break back? Like before back, if you guys did watch my old videos, I used to be like a brown belt second degree type stuff, but then I kind of stopped and all that because of my programming series. That said, I think if I were to do right now, I could like maybe go on with like 30 in a stretch type stuff. It really depends. I might do more, I might do less, depending on if I'm warmed up or not. How's everything going here besides these things? Honestly, I feel like college is just kind of stressful, but it's getting kind of fun. I'm sorry, I did not watch streams so long. I mean, that's actually fine. There, I don't like make so much progress. I really feel so bad. I feel like it's alright. Okay, that said, so now for my logic, let me actually go ahead and get my code that I worked on the before yesterday. It's called Dodge the Enemy. There we go. So this is a program that I worked on like 2 streams ago. Okay, and this is like somewhat the reference because I do not know the syntaxes that well. Okay, let's go to something like Lisa has a C++ file. Okay, what language is this? Honestly, it is C++. Okay, that's it. Let me go ahead and scroll all the way down here. Now, for my update Lisa logic, first thing that I needed was an F string for letting my user know what state Lisa is currently having. The second, I'm going to add a switch for my current state, okay, and then I add a bunch of logic for like my states. I see. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to go with something like a F string, which is going to be represented by a, let's say, local variable called state name. I'm going to go with something like state name, which is going to be equal to, I don't know, maybe an empty quote, ending with a semicolon. Okay, hiding pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, I feel like my monitor is kept so much so to the left, so I gotta like kind of look over my actual webcam to see if you guys said something. Okay, so F string state name. Why do I say about underline here? Quoted string should contain at least 1 character. Should it be like double quotes? There we go. Okay. What is your program about? Honestly, for the time being, it is like about the actor or like the character that I summon chasing my player and changing states depending on the distance from my player. For example, if Lisa is like 1,000 units away from my character, the state is going to be idle, Lisa won't be moving. But if I get closer, then Lisa is going to start chasing me. And if my distance from player is, let's say, something like 50 units away, then Lisa is going to attack my player. And then later on, I will be adding like UIs to decrease my HP and like animated meshes for stuff to look more cool and all that. But for now, I just want to work on the basic logic. What's your peak push-up count in a row? I'd say it's like, I think it was like around 71 or so. I actually forgot. It was around in the 70s range. Okay, that said, once I'm done with an F string, I'm going to go ahead and add a switch. Let's use switches. So for my switch, I'm going to go with something like current state. Okay, this is going to be my condition. And then I'm going to do something. Let's add a few cases. For my case 1, I'm going to go ahead and check if my current state, let's go with something like if my current state is equal to, let's go with something like eState type. I wrote currency state. There we go. If my current state equals to eState type, states type, okay, is let's say something like idle. If my Lisa's state currently is idle, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Okay, let's go with something like a colon. Why do I say red underline here? Expression must have a constant value. The value of this cannot be used as a constant. I see. Okay, in that case, I might just go with something like if my eState type is set to idle, then I want to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I wanna, let's say, I want my Lisa to be standing still. Okay, where do you live in? Honestly, I do live abroad, but I can't give my actual country name. Okay, if else is better than switch, it is faster. Honestly, actually, that does make sense, but I feel like when we add more, I could like use if and else if here, but then when we actually have more kind of states and all that, I feel like switches is much more cleaner looking type stuff. Okay, that's it. I mean, both actually does the exact same thing. Okay, so I check if my state is idle. Lisa's state's name is going to be set to idle, and then if player distance to, oh, I see. Okay, so I go with something like my state name. Let's go with something like state's name is going to be equal to idle. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Then let's add a if statement. I might add a comment here. Okay, let's add a comment here. So I'm going to say something like idle logic. Okay, so for my idle logic, I'm going to go ahead and add an if statement. Bro, Owen says nerd emoji. Take it as a compliment. Guys, I feel like that actually is a compliment. It's so hard to like see chats. I might actually get my phone here to see it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like if, let's say distance to player. Do I have a distance to player variable? Okay, there we go. So if my distance to player variable, so there we go. Okay, is greater than 1,000 units. I'm gonna go with is greater than 1,000 units. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I wanna actually display a G engine. I'm gonna go with something like a G engine. Add on screen debug message. And basically what the add on screen debug message does is it like literally displays a text on my window that I could see. It's not as good as UIs, but then it does like work while we're just working with the logic type stuff. That said, I'm gonna go with something like add-on screen debug message where I require a few parameters. First is gonna be key. My key is gonna be -1. The second is gonna be time. How long do I want my text to be displayed on my window? I don't know. Maybe I'll go with something like 1.f. So I'll go with something like 1 second, and then I'm gonna require color. What color do I want my text to be? Since it's idle, I might go with something like a blue text. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add a text. Instead, I might go with something like an f string. Okay, with a scope resolution operator of a printf with a parentheses. I'm going to add a text here. Okay, so what text do I want to display on my window? I could go with something like, maybe I'll go with something like Lisa is idle. Let's go with something like Lisa is idle. Instead, I could go with something like state changed to. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like state changed to. Let's go with something like %f. Then I'm gonna go out here, add a comma, and add something like my state name. Let's go with something like state name. Okay, I think this is good. Did I spell printf wrong? I think this should be an uppercase B. There we go. Okay, hey, are you Vivek Dave who made game for kids? Honestly, I'm not like a real a real software engineer yet. I'm just learning the basics type stuff, but it is kind of fun. Bad coding standards with a big bug potential. If you add a new state, you need to remember to update the case logic. You should have added the logic in the state class itself. Honestly, I think that actually does make sense. But the thing is, I'm not really that good with like Unreal Engine, so I'm just like working on learning the basics, because I should actually read like a reader or something, or like the documentation, which I actually did try to read a documentation. Kind of goes above my head on how to like work on this logic. So I gotta work on like the way I organize my program, because I do think that it's gonna get really hard later on. Okay, that's it. So once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and break. So let's go ahead and break, ending with a semicolon. And then next up, once I'm done with this case, I'm gonna go ahead and add my case 2. For my case 2, I'm gonna go ahead and check if my eState, let's go with something like if my eState type. Okay, what is pointer? Okay, basically that's like an arrow mark operator. The reason we like use this arrow mark operator, we go here. The reason we like use this arrow mark operator is to point towards something. For example, did I use it somewhere in my program here? So let's see. I think I used it here. There we go. So basically, this is my enhanced input component. This is technically a pointer which points towards. We use an arrow mark operator to point towards, let's say, an instance function, instance variable inside of it. In this case, I went ahead and pointed it towards a bind actions function, if that makes any sense. So instead of using a scope resolution operator, which we use for classes, I think for pointers, we use the arrow mark operator to point something that really exists inside of my pointer, if that makes any sense, guys. Invoking method, that makes sense. Okay, that's it. Let's go out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, guys. I gotta work more on my explanation. Okay, so for my second case, I'm gonna go with something like if my case or my eState type is something like chase, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Actually, if my distance to player is less than 1,000, I'm gonna go with something like less than 1,000. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna go with something like my eState type or my current state. Let's go with something like my current state. Okay, is gonna be equal to my eState type chase. There, let's go ahead and copy that and paste it here. There, I think this makes so much more sense. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. Why do I keep typing currency for current? And then let's end this with a semicolon. Then I'm gonna go with something like state change to state name. Okay, perfect. I want to ask if I just downloaded a game, and when I'm going to install, it says it needs Visual C++. What does that mean? Honestly, did you install a program or like the source code for a program? Because it might have said that because it wanted a kind of IDE to actually add the source logic to it. Or was it like an APK? Okay, arrow function, you need to download C++ framework from Microsoft, just Google from message, and you see the download and install it. Oh, I see. Okay, that said, which chat are you reading? Twitch? Honestly, I don't like having a third monitor reading Twitch chat, but then I might actually get one. Okay, that's it. Let's just keep this here, because I don't really have space to keep it here. Like, every time I see a chat, I like move my head towards the other window because my webcam is kind of covering it. Okay, so next I'm gonna check if my case is chase, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. This goes inside of my switch, right? My switch starts there. Whoops. Let's copy that, delete that from here. There we go. So this is where the case goes. Okay, so now for my second case, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Firstly, I wanna go ahead and change my state name. My state name is gonna be equal to, let's say, something like chase. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then let's add another comment that says something like chase logic. And under my chase logic, I'm gonna add an if statement to check if my distance to player, let's go with something like distance to player, D-A-N-C-E to player, okay, is, let's say something like less than 100. So if my distance to player is less than 80, I'll go with 80. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces where my current state is going to go ahead and change to, I'm going to go with something like eState type is going to be equal to, I'm going to go with something like attack. Okay, if my Lisa gets in a radius of 80 units from my actual player Tom, then I want to change my state from chase to attack. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a G engine. Just going to copy this to save time. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. Okay, let's paste that add-on a G engine add-on screen debug message where this is going to be a red text. There we go. Okay, thank you. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove my text here. And let's set my text to be something like state change to attack. I think it's correct. Okay, I might want to add another add-on screen debug message here. Let's copy that. Let's paste it here. I'm gonna say something like, let's remove this firstly. Okay, let's change this to something like red as well. This is gonna be blue. State change text can be blue, but then I'm gonna go ahead and change the text inside saying something like Lisa is attacking you. Run faster. Guys, this is not a horror game. Okay, that's actually pretty much it. I might actually add another text here. Let's copy that. Okay, this is going to be a red text. I'm going to go ahead and remove my state name from here again and kind of delete this part from here as well. Now, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and say something like Lisa started, S-T-A-R-T-E-D, started chasing you. Okay, get 1,000 units away from her. Exclamation. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and add a break because guys, break is very important when it comes to cases. Lastly, for my third case, I'm going to check if my eState type is, let's say, something like attack. So if my eState type is attack, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. My state name. Hey, can you talk in Hindi? Honestly, I feel like I can whatchamacallit, I do know how to speak Hindi, but I'm not as fluent in it, so I wouldn't be able to kind of explain what I'm doing because I don't know most words and phrases, so I think I would kind of mess that stuff up. Okay, that's it. Let's go with something like attack. And there are like some of you guys who like kind of, whatchamacallit, like send chats or like text in Hindi, writing like comments in Hindi. I cannot read. I'm like completely illiterate when it comes to reading it. I can only speak and understand. Okay, that's it. Let's go with something like states. I'm gonna go with something like attack logic. Let's go with ATTACK logic. Now, for my attack logic, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do something. So, I don't really know that if I should add an attack logic. Because I'm gonna be idle if my state is greater. So I don't really think that I need an attack logic. I'll just remove this. There, this should honestly be pretty much it. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl S to save the code. And that's like right about it, right? Okay, so I did everything that I needed here. Okay, now I guess I'm gonna go ahead and implement that inside of my Tom's C++ file. But before that, a very important thing. I want to try to run. I want to try to like run the code and kind of see how it works. Okay, is your mother tongue too low? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that, but I don't think so. Okay, it said builds. Okay, so it says one error. So it says one failed. Where did it fail? Did I have a typo? Okay, it usually says, so it says targets 44 error blah blah the command project file. Guys, it should probably say the error here. Okay, build. Doesn't it like say the error? Let me try debugging real quick. Actually, let's build my solution. Firstly, I want to clean my solution up because sometimes it does this for some reason, and it's so hard to like differentiate and tell if I had an error because the Visual Studio just has red squeaky lines. Oh, I think I know where I messed up here. It might be in my U class, right? So let's go with something like Lisa's header files. I'm positive it's my U class where I messed up. Okay, I used to do coding in C++. It actually sounds really cool. Okay, what game are you building? Actually, I'm building like a project which has like AI logic in it. Technically, I have 3 states, and depending on my state, my object that I summon while I press C is either gonna chase me, attack me, or stand idle. Then later, I'm gonna work like using, I think it's called like raycasting, where my target or my NPC kind of follows a direction to like chase my player and like avoids obstacles, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's try running the code again. This time it should work. Okay. It keeps saying one failed. Let me try building the project. Okay, have you tried Python? Honestly, yeah, Python was like my first ever series and the first ever programming language that I did learn. I do like have an entire series on that where I spent like 100 days learning Python, and my goal by the end of the Python for 100 series was to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. But not AI logic, just make a game in general. I did like actually complete that game about 150 days ago. There's like a whole playlist on that. Okay, let's wait for this to build completely real quick. Okay, let's see. There we go. 51 succeeded, 1 failed, 1 skipped. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and open my code manually. But before that, I want to see if I run this stuff because usually it should like say the error that I had. Okay, additional function can be generated for this type. Okay, so it's dumb. So enemy ENEMY AI logic underscore API. I see. So I mean, I won't say it's wrong. Let's try opening this through my Visual Studio. There we go. Let's open my Visual Studio real quick because usually when I try to compile the code in Visual Studio, it says me exactly which file did I have the error in. Okay, which chat are we reading? Reading Twitch. Honestly, I might actually go to Twitch real quick to like check it out. So let's get this here real quick, and then let's go to something like channel. Okay, Twitch does not have any chats, I guess. Let's go ahead and just kind of close that real quick. There we go. Okay, that said, let's go to something like my projects. In my project, I'm gonna go ahead and double click my enemy AI logics project. The following modules are missing or built with a different engine version. Enemy AI logic, would you like to rebuild them? Sure. Okay, let's hit something like yes. Okay, enemy AI logic could not be compiled. Try rebuilding from source manually. Okay, I guess we gotta figure out where we messed up here first. So first, let's start with Tom. I'm positive everything is correct here. I didn't require any header files there. I created the basic classes, declared the basic classes. I created camera boom, follow camera, default camera, okay, all these basic U properties, a boolean check, a bunch of functions, and that's about it. Let's go with my C++ file. I included everything. The red underlines, I don't think it's an error. Okay, are you South Indian? Because South Indian are only Indians that can speak English fluently. Honestly, I haven't actually been to India. That's sad. Call when the game starts or when spawns. White 8 Tom. Begin play. Super begin play. That is controller. Controller is undefined. I mean, let's try to debug. Start debugging with F5. Okay, let's see where it actually fails. So results fail, other compilation error. Doesn't it say what line, or am I just kind of blind? It says makefile, Microsoft makefile target. Okay, error the command, Unreal Engine. Is it the build.cs? Okay, logic. I mean, I guess let's ask Claude what error I got here. So I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Canada or US? I mean, could be either, I guess. That's it, hiding Leos. I appreciate you joining the stream. There we go. Let's go to Claude here. Now, let me go ahead and paste this and then go and Shift Enter and say something like, let's say, I get this error when I run my code from my Visual Studio. I think that I messed up, question mark. Okay, let's see. That's thinking about diagnostics. Okay, enum syntax error. I'm pretty sure it's a syntax error because that's the only thing I currently struggle with. When you learn how to program, honestly, I did like learn using, when I first I worked with like ChatGPT, then I moved on to like AI and then Claude as well. Wait, by AI I meant Gemini and Claude, so those were the basic 3 AIs that I really used to learn. I think they were like really helpful, to be honest. Okay, the problem is Lisa.h. At line 19, it says your enum is missing a semicolon. Okay, make sure to add a semicolon. There we go. I knew that it's like basic syntax errors, but then I make them so often. Okay, now let's try running the code again. Okay. There we go. Okay, now let's wait for this to compile, because once this is done like compiling, it's gonna open my Visual Studio up. Okay, resource default, RC2. Okay, let's see. And guys, I do want to kind of actually have a workout stream. Maybe this Tuesday, or maybe I could like kind of merge 2 streams. Like half the stream is going to be workout, the other half is going to be like making meshes in Blender, because I do need meshes, and I think I have like less than 100 days to like be done with the mesh and all that stuff, because I got to start implementing them in my program. I wonder what meshes I should make. Probably should start thinking the kind of project that I will be needing. Okay, finally, there we go. Okay, there we go. It probably says where I get the error now. 51 seconds. Okay, so RMB released. Enhanced input. So Tom generated.h. So Tom's header files 57. C declaration 8 Tom class 8 Tom. Okay, so it's line 54, and there's one for line 129 as well. Okay, so basically this. Okay, so let's go to something like my Tom's header files, and then in my header files, okay, wait, most are C++, or C++, C++. Okay, so let's go to my C++ file. In my C++ file, I have a move action, a e-trigger event, which is going to be triggered. I go with move, but the thing that's kind of messed up is my RMB underscore pressed and RMB underscore released functions. Okay, so error C2027. Use of undefined type atom. Isn't my class called atom? Okay, RMB release. Okay, let's go to my header files real quick. RMB underscore PRESSED, RELESE. This is correct. Why am I getting an error here? Well, may I ask, what are you doing? Actually, I am like working on implementing AI logic to the enemy that I actually spawn, or to the character that I spawn when I click C in my keyboard. Although I'm getting a pesky compilation error here. I really think it's my Visual Studio. You know what? Let's kind of exit this real quick and open it through my what's this called? I actually forgot. My Solution Explorer. There we go. So I'm gonna go to something like enemy AI logic, and then I'm gonna right click my U project, go with something like show more, and generate Visual Studio projects. Usually when we do that, it fixes most of the bugs. Okay, how doing, BD? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go ahead and get this here. Okay, now let's see. There we go. Most errors are fixed. I can just tell it's like 99% because I'm not compiling the code or like generating the code. Oh, game dev, right? Honestly, yeah. Let's go out of it down here. Okay, let's see. There we go. It opens Visual Studio. Guys, this is the most annoyingest thing that happens when I use Visual Studio to code. Like, it tells me I have errors. I spend so much time debugging these errors and all that stuff to just for it to just be correct. There we go. Let's it's opening my Visual Studio now. So there we go. Oh, it's already done opening my Visual Studio. Let's kind of insert that part. There. Okay, let's get this here. And now, if I were to go ahead and click content and then go to something like content, double click my map. This is basically my map. Let's hit something like I. It says that my stamina is currently 1000. Wait, did I actually implement my stamina logic? If I were to hit something like C, it says Lisa spawn and Lisa is chasing me. Wait, why did dodge the enemy open? This is... Wait, did I really open dodge the enemy file? What up, guys? It's enemy AI logic that I opened. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and open this. Okay, let's see. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and exit my Unreal Engine from here. Okay, and then let's run the code. Can close my Unreal Engine configurations. Okay, so it says static class. Okay, let's try to figure out where I messed up. It's not a generate error, it's like a syntax error. RMB released. Actually, it might be, yeah, I think it's a syntax error, not like a logic error. Okay, so it says this. So if I were to go to my C++, let me see, did I really do everything correct here? I have my action name. If this action is being performed or it has been started on this object, I want to do what this function tells me to do. It is correct, actually. Okay, maybe let's say C declaration of atom. Class atom. Okay, I guess let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Let's go ahead and get Claude up here. Gonna paste the error and say something like, I get this error now. Okay, let's see. Thinking about diagnosing an unspecified error message, identifying multiple coding errors. Stop, I see the real problem. There are two major issues. Problem 1, Lisa.C++, wrong format specifier. Line 41, F string. Okay, that could be one case. S state name. You're using %F for floats, but state name is a string. I did not know we could have actually done that. Okay, so F string is going to be %string, use S string, and add a asterisk before state name to dereference it. I see. Problem 2, Tom.h, wrong API macro, look at line 17. Class enemy AI logic, it says ENEMY, but your project is called dodge the enemy. No, this is a new project. Change Tom name. Wait, let me see something like, let's say, this is a new project called enemy AI logic. Okay, I guess I spelled it wrong. Let's go with something like called enemy AI, ENEMY AI logic. There we go. Okay, but the one thing that I did need to fix is my format specifier. That might be one reason why I actually got an error here. So I'm gonna go with something like S, and let's use a dereferencing operator of an asterisk to dereference my pointer. State name is not a pointer though, so I'm gonna remove this. Let's hit Control S to save the code. Whoops, before I hit Control S, I'm gonna change that to S as well. Now I'll hit Control S to save the code. Then let's try running it. But it still wouldn't kind of fix the issue of my static class here. Okay. 0 succeeded, 1 failed. So the issue is somewhere in my header files, I'm assuming. Okay, because first it runs from header files. If the header file succeeded, then build, it would say 1 succeeded or like multiple succeeded. Okay, so enemy AI logic, it's ENEMYAILOGIC logic underscore API. That's correct. Okay, let's read what Klaus to say here. Got it. So this enemy AI logic project not dodge the enemy, but look at the error. The capitalization of your API macro is wrong. Guys, how did I be this stupid? ENEMY. There we go. That makes more sense. And this is enemy AI logic. ENEMY. Now let's hit control. Let's just save the code and try running the program again. Okay, so a good thing is that we did not just get an error. Okay, let's see. Is my project name correct? Let me get this down here. Now let's kind of extend it from the left. ENEMYAILOGIC. Okay. I mean, I think it's correct. Let's see what Claudius will say. Wrong mixed cases. The API macro must be all uppercase. Change this. It must be all uppercase. Match our project name in all caps. Okay, I did not know that. That's something new. Wait, let's go up here. Dodge the enemy. It needs to be all in caps. I actually did not know that. Let's go with something like enemy AI logic underscore API. There we go. Now let's hit control S to save the code. And then if I were to run the program, I have a good feeling about this, just about the macro part. Okay, expects, so it says expects a dereferenced f string. Okay, so in my terms of C++ file, actually in my Lisa's C++ file, I'm gonna go ahead and add a asterisk here as a dereferencing operator. Let's go ahead and add a asterisk here as well. Hit Control S to save the code and kind of run the program again. There we go. Build succeeded and it opens Unreal Engine. So it was those basic things that I messed up. The first thing that it was that whenever we want to get an API for our U class, it needs to be all in caps regardless of what our program name is. Our program name should be written in caps, and then whenever I want to give an F string of my local variable which represents my F string, it needs to be dereferenced using a dereferencing operator or asterisk. I see. Now let's go ahead and kind of extend this. Oops, let's go ahead and extend this. There we go. And then I'm going to go to something like content. I'm going to go to content here. Don't I have a map? It's either one of two things. I forgot to create a map or I did not save my map. I mean, it's fine. So I have a map here. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and get my content. Let's go ahead and drag my Thompson's class up here with a camera. I'm going to go ahead and extend my outliner from here. And in my details panel of my Tom, I'm going to go ahead and add a static mesh. This static mesh is going to be of my common NPC. I'm going to go with something like common NPC. Bro, where did I learn these programming languages? I learned it, using AI, honestly, because I feel like they have like really good practice questions, like a lot of practice drills and mini projects to get the works on. Only downside might be that they don't teach much in theory, like how textbook does. That's it. Let's go ahead and move this. Which year are you in? Honestly, I am like a freshman in college. I haven't like started learning about Unreal Engine in college just yet because I am like learning the basics. Look at that. So let's go up here because I feel like my college programming course is honestly kind of easy compared to what I do on my streams, but then it's kind of challenging because I'm not used to the theory part. Okay, which year are you in? I'm actually a freshman. That's it. Let's go here. Let's kind of get this inside my capsule. There, perfect. Okay, I think that Tom is completely in the capsule, right? Okay. Now, next up, once I'm done with this, let me go a bit higher. There we go. Okay, once I'm done with this, in my Tom's instance, I'm gonna go ahead and look for input. And in my input, guys, kind of ignore the lighting. I think like the lighting is kind of awful today because it's pretty like a cloudy weather. Let's go with something like input. Now, my default mapping is going to be IMC default. My move action is going to be IA underscore move. My look action is going to be IA underscore look. RMB action is going to be IA underscore RMB. And that's like about it. Once I'm done with those, I'm gonna make sure that I save my map this time. Gonna hit Control S to save the code. There, let's call this something like map. Okay, perfect. Let's remember my choices. I move is a 2D vector, perfect. Now, if I did Control Alt F11 to compile the code real quick, while it's compiling, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of decrease my details panel here and run the code. Okay, I cannot move my thumb right now because I actually forgot to set my priority. Gonna click my thumbs as instance, go with something like possess. Okay, from disable, this is going to be player 0. Now, I should be able to see from my thumbs' camera. Go ahead and kind of decrease that, run the code again. There we go. So that is basically my thumb where I can move forward, backwards, left, and right. Although I cannot rotate myself around the screen, so I gotta kind of fix that up. However, before that, I'm gonna just fix my camera's position a little more. Okay, are you from Tamil Nadu? Honestly, no. That's it. Let's go ahead and get this here. Let's go to something like Tom. I'm going to scroll all the way down till I don't find camera. And then let's kind of position my camera to be like in a third person. So I'm going to go higher. Maybe I want to go a bit higher. And then I'm going to hit something like E to rotate myself a bit lower. There, and I think that should be good. Let's run the code. Okay, that's much better. I can move forward, backwards, left, and right. I did not really add my summon action yet. I'm going to do that in a bit. But before that, I'm going to go to my Tom's C++ file. Actually, let's go to header file first. Let's see everything that I kind of do have. I need to work on my look action now. Did I not work on my look action? Possibly, right? I did work on my look action. This is my function that should be working on my look action when my right mouse button is being pressed. Guys, this is what I love to see, that all the red squiggly lines just disappear. Last stream, if you guys go ahead and check my last stream, I feel like these red underlines were there for, let's say, about 20 to like 30-ish minutes of my entire stream. I was like, that's so annoying. Okay, I should be able to move though. Okay, why don't you get sleep and rest at midnight? Honestly, not midnight for me. I just like woke up. It's almost 2 p.m. for me right now. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine real quick. If this is dodged an enemy, I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this real quick. There. Now, for my I_look, in my IMC default, there we go. I did not add another mapping. This mapping is going to be for I_look, where I want to go ahead and turn towards the right or towards the left based on where my mouse moves in the x-axis. And I want to turn up or down based on where my mouse moves in the y-axis. Now, let's hit Control Alt F11 real quick. While it's compiling, I'm going to shrink my details panel. Okay, now if I run the code, I can go ahead and turn towards the... Oh, what up, guys? So, y-axis is going to go ahead and have a Swiss input axis value, because this is what we use to get axis of the y-axis, because if you don't add a Swiss input axis value, by default, we can only move or rotate in the x-axis. Okay, sorry, by the way, where did from? Do you mean like where I'm from? Honestly, I'm like from abroad, but I can't give my exact country. Let's go ahead and Control Alt F11 again to compile my code. And then let's run the code real quick. Okay, so one thing is I cannot, so for starters, I cannot really turn myself around. Gotta fix that real quick. Let's try to debug this real quick. So in my bind action, I have started, I've completed this, my function is correct. I get my scale value, add controller yaw input, add controller pitch input. They both are perfectly correct as well. Yeah, that's like about it, right? That's basically all that I need to move around. Unless in my Unreal Engine, I actually did not do something. Let's check if my binding is done correctly. I'm gonna go to Tom. Let's type something like input. So in my Tom's input, I have a look action. Okay, where are you from? Like country, state? Actually, I can't give my country or state. I used to actually say that a lot in my previous streams. So you guys could like either, whatchamacallit, kind of treasure hunt for that. But these days I did like stop saying that for like safety reasons. That's it. I_move, I_look, I_R&B. What else am I missing? Let me think. Why could it be that I can't turn towards the left or turn towards the right? Or up and down. only thing that I could think about is my IA underscore look. The other thing that I could think about could be if I were to go to content, I were to go to inputs. Let's double click my look. This is going to be 2D vector, up, down, left, right. I think it's correct. Okay, so if my look action has been triggered on this object, I want to do what this function tells me to do. How many programming languages do you know? Honestly, I do know like 2 programming languages. Like, have you tried Beeline already, guys? I have not tried Beeline yet, but I do want to try it. Like, you've been saying it to me, I think like for like 10 or 15 days now in a row. So I should probably get to trying that stuff. Okay, that's direction for my move. I can move, but I can't turn or rotate or bounce. Okay, if my player controller is not null PDR, then I go ahead and do this. Add mapping context, priority is going to be 0. Where could I be messing up? Where could I be messing up that I can't turn around? What are the 2 things that I might need? The first thing I know that I might need could be adding inputs. So in my thumb, I add inputs. All of the inputs that I would need is added here. The second thing that I would need is going to be possess. POSS is set to 0, place inward. I'm going to go with something like place inward or spawn because I'm going to eventually need that to summon objects. I mean, it's correct. I don't know what could go wrong here. While RMB is pressed. So while I have my RMB pressed, while I have my right mouse button pressed, RMB pressed, show cursor false. RMB released, show cursor true. And then if RMB pressed, do this, do that. In my header files, I have a look action. I have RMB press release. Okay, maybe. Let me think. Okay, if it actually did not work, then I might really ask Claude where I'm messing up, but I should be able to turn myself. I cannot see my mouse at all once I hit my program. Okay, I want to test a small thing though. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my C++ file and just kind of remove this if statement real quick. I want to see if it works without the if statement. Pretty sure that it would be working without the if statement. Go to Control S to save the code. Go with Control Alt F11 to compile. Let's wait for this to live compile. Okay, it says results succeeded, successfully patched. Let's go ahead and run the code. Okay, I can move around. So the error isn't in my program. I mean, the error is somewhere in my logic here. Okay, so let's go with something like, so this is where my error is at. If my RMB is being pressed, then I want to go ahead and move around. My binding is correct. This is somewhere that I'm messing up on. RMB pressed. Okay, B is RMB pressed is going to be equal to false. Is RMB pressed is going to be true. Okay, so what could be that? What could be something that is not correct here? Player controller points to which show mouse cursor false. That's correct. Let me think. I can't really say something that's going to be wrong up there. Okay, well, I guess I could go ahead and go with Control C, copy that. Let's grab Claude here. Okay, let's go ahead and get Claude here. Let's paste it here. Go chip enter and see something like insane. I cannot. Let's go with something like ICANNOT. I cannot move my let's say I cannot rotate my player using my mouse if I add that if statement in my look function. But when I remove that's if statement that checks if my RMB. I know where I messed up, guys. The best way to actually, guys, I don't know, it just suddenly clicked up. If I go to mappings and click the plus here, I'm gonna add a comment that says something like IE underscore RMB. There, this is gonna initiate when I click my right mouse button. Okay, perfect. Now let's go with something like Control Alt F11 to compile the code. Okay, guys, it's just like all of a sudden it suddenly clicks up in your mind when you try writing the problem down. Now if I run the code, I can go ahead and move my player around. Gotta fix this tiny logic, but everything else besides this is correct. Okay, let's fix that tiny logic now. There. Let's go with Control Alt F11 again. Control Alt F11. Okay, this should fix it up. Let's go ahead and run the code real quick. There we go. I can move my mouse. If I click my right mouse button, I can go ahead and turn around. Alright guys, there we go. It's just the basic things like once we I feel like I can actually figure the code out when I'm trying to like write the code, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's it. Now once I'm done with this, what is the next thing that I might need? Next thing that I might want to do is like work on the summon logic, where I want to go ahead and summon Lisa every time I press C in my keyboard. So I'm going to go to my Tom's header files, and let's say I want to go ahead and add, let's say, another U property. So I'm going to go with something like summon action. I'm going to go with something like summon action. There, I want to go ahead and create a U property, which can be edited anywhere. So I'm going to go with something like edit anywhere. I want my summon action to be blueprint read only. I only want my blueprint to be able to read it, not really edit it. Lastly, I want my category to be equal to something like input. Okay, and that's like right about it. Once I'm done with adding my U property, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like a U input action. Okay, which is going to be represented by a pointer. Let's go with something like action, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like summon action. Okay, perfect. And then I end that with a semicolon. And now let's hit Control S to save the code. And then I'm going to go down here to add, let's say, a Boolean check. I'm going to go with something like a Boolean variable of is C pressed. I'm going to check if my C pressed initially is going to be set to false. There we go. Okay, and then for my functions, I'm firstly going to go ahead and add a white function called something like C underscore pressed with a pair of parentheses ending with a semicolon, and another white function called C underscore released with a pair of parentheses ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add a white function here called summon. And now my summon function will not require any parameters, so that's a good thing. Unless I want parameters, which I don't want for now. Okay, then I'm going to go inside my C++ file. In my C++ file, under my look function, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment that says something like summon function. Okay, and inside my summon function, what is something that I might want? Firstly, I might want to go ahead and grab a hold or get a hold of my summon function. So from my aTom's class, I want to go ahead and get my summon function, which does not require any parameters. So I'm just going to go with the pair of curly braces. Now, inside my summon function, do I want to do I do want to, of course, do something, but what is it that I want to do? I might want to go ahead and get my world first. Basically, what get world means is I'm going to go ahead and add a U worlds is, let's say, what is this U world called here? Basically, I'm getting my Unreal's world and representing, I would say that this is a structure. This is not a structure. Structure is represented by F. I guess it's just a Unreal's attribute here, so I'm going to go ahead and represent my U world, which is Unreal's attribute, and call it something like world. That is going to be equal to the get worlds function. Basically, what this means is that I'm actually getting access of my entire Unreal's world, which is my level or the new map that I created. Once I'm done getting my world, what is something else that I might want to need? I might want to add a F vector. Okay, I think that we should be uppercase. There we go. I want to add a F vector, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like spawn location. There we go. I want my actor to spawn, let's say, something like 300 units away or 300 units in front of where my character is facing. So I'm gonna set my spawn location to be equal to, I want to get my actor location, so I'm gonna go with something like get actor location. Whatever is my actor's location, wherever my actor is located at, I want to go ahead and increase my spawn location by something like get actor forward FORWART forward vector multiplied by 300.f. And the get actor forward vector is like a function, so I'm gonna add a pair of parentheses to invoke the function. It's gonna be 300. There we go. Now, basically, what this really does is like it tells me that my spawn location is going to be whichever place my character is located, plus wherever my character is facing, 300 units away from that, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and let's say add a F rotator as well. This is going to be which way do I want my actor to face. I want my actor's back to be facing where my front is facing. So I see my actor's back, and my Tom sees Lisa's back, while Lisa sees whatever is in front of Lisa, if that makes any sense. Okay, so it's basically where my camera is facing. That's where I want my Lisa to face. So I'm gonna go with something like spawn rotation, guys. It's very hard to explain this. Okay, hiding longster, appreciate you joining the stream. Although I feel like this is getting much easier the more I'm doing it, to be honest. For my spawn rotation, I'm going to go with something like get control rotation. This is a pretty fun function that Unreal actually that C++ lets me use, or Unreal lets me use here. Okay, now once I'm done with all this, I'm gonna let me add a comment here. Get Lisa's spawn location, LOCTION, not location. LOCTION. Get Lisa's spawn location and which way she faces. There. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add another comment. For my second comment, let's say I'm gonna go with something like spawn actor in level. This is gonna be in level. This is going to be what I really do in order for me to spawn Lisa inside of my Unreal's world. Okay, 100 push-ups, really. Honestly, guys, I do need to work out. That's the reason I had this, what should we call it? Had this poll here, but I might go with something like 50 likes next stream because I really want to do some push-ups, and I feel like one push-up for 1 like is actually kind of fun to do. Okay, because guys, I feel like I'm getting kind of scrawny. That's spawn actor level. For doing this, I'm gonna go with something like get actor. I'm gonna go ahead and get my actor. Okay, the syntax for this, I might have forgotten it. Let's think. I gotta go with spawn actor, so I'm gonna go with something like spawn actor. Did I save my Lisa's actor somewhere here? Oh, I did not. So let's do that first. Let's add a comment that says something like store Lisa in a container. It shouldn't be called container in a let's just go with store Lisa. Okay, so we can summon as many as we want. There we go. Okay, that's good. Honestly, it does sound kind of cool. That's it. Now I'm gonna go with the U property again, where I want my U property, or I want my U property to be edited anywhere. I want my store Lisa to be blueprint read only. Okay, and by the way, store Lisa basically means the object that I want to summon, because I just don't want to summon that object once. Instead, I want to have some kind of container where I have like unlimited of those objects, and every time I click a certain button, I spawn that object, or like look if that object exists inside that container, grab it and put it in the level. Okay, where I'm going to go with something like category. That is going to be called something like summoning. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go with something like a T subclass off. I'm going to go with T subclass off. Subclass off this template. So this template is going to be consisting of my Lisa. I'm going to go with something like a Lisa. There we go. And the reason I see it red underline is because I did not really include my Lisa. So I'm going to go with something like hashtag include my Lisa's header files. Now I can magically use this. Okay, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and say something like Lisa summon or summon Lisa. There, ending with a semicolon. Then I'm gonna go ahead and Control S to save the code. Once I'm done actually getting a container, this D subclass of is the template where I really store my Lisa. So the A Lisa's character class is stored inside my summon Lisa, so I can summon Lisa now in infinite times as long as I'm clicking C. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my terms of C++ file and go with something like my spawn actors as template. Was it template? Kind of forgot that. Bro, you would have been so far if you chose Python. I'm sure that actually does make sense. I would have actually made so much progress in it. But I mean, I feel like for my next year, spoilers alert, guys, I might actually need to learn Python because I am actually learning Python as well for my college courses because I do like have a beginner course and since Python is like one of the easiest programming languages out there. I'm learning that for my programming fundamentals and C++ is just the stuff that I'm learning on stream. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and open my Dodge the Enemy project. Okay, might want to see a tiny bit of reference from the code that I wrote like I think 2 days ago. Okay, let's go with something like, whoops, I think I deleted something, right? That's fine. I'm gonna go to my Tom's C++ file. In my C++ file, let's see. There we go. Okay, so it's world. From world I go with spawn actor. Okay, this was the one thing that I did not really understand. There, so now it makes more sense. From the world that I got a access of right here, I'm going to point towards the spawn actors as template. My actor is going to be my class, which is going to be my Alisa's class, with a prof parentheses to invoke the function or invoke the template, where I'm going to require 3 parameters. Who do I want to spawn? I want to go ahead and, whoops, I kind of pinned this here. There we go. Who do I want to spawn? I want to go ahead and spawn my summon Lisa. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Where do I want to spawn Lisa? I want to spawn Lisa in the location that is stored inside of my spawn locations as a variable or a local variable. And then where do I want Lisa to face? Where I have my spawn rotation. And that's like right about it. Then let's go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Next up, I might go with something like a G engine. Add-on screen debug message. I'm going to go with something like add-on screen debug message. Let's go with debug message. I want to add a text saying that Lisa actually spawned just to save some time. Instead of like manually typing this whole thing up, I might just copy this. I want to copy something easier. There. Let's copy that. Let's go to my C++. Okay, but what are you doing? Honestly, I'm almost done. Like, I actually showed it like in my, I think like about 3-ish minutes. This is like the final thing that I might do. Okay, so I'm gonna say something like, Lisa has spawned. Okay. Let's go with something like, she is chasing you. Guys, I don't know what else to say. Let's hit Control S. So basically what I was kind of doing is if I were to run the project here, I can go ahead and move around and all that stuff, but if I hit C, I cannot really spawn anyone. So I'm working on a project where when I click a certain button on my keyboard, which in this case, it is C, I want to go ahead and spawn my Lisa's character on my Unreal's engine, and I wanna like give my character some kind of AI logic, which is basically 3 states: idle, chase, and attack. My Lisa is going to be in the idle state if my distance to player is greater than 1,000. But if my distance to player is less than 1,000, I've changed my state to be chase, and I've chased my player around until my distance to player is not less than 80. If my distance to player is less than 80, my Lisa changes state to attack, and I go ahead and attack my player. If that made any sense, guys. Later on, I will add the sprint logic and all that stuff as well. But for now, just gonna work on this. Okay, and I feel like I'm kind of done with this as well. It was not that hard. The only thing that was kind of hard was the basic syntax that I kind of messed up on. Okay, this is bind move action, bind move and look action. And then I'm gonna add a comment here that says something like bind RMB action, right mouse button action. Then I'm gonna go with something like bind summon action. I'm gonna go with something like summon action. For my summon action, I'm gonna go with something like enhance input component that points towards bind action. Hey brother, are you sure you're going to make a game or a 2D game like Flappy Bird after 250 days? I want to really make a three-dimensional game, like a AAA game, but for that I would need so many different meshes. That's the reason every Tuesday I do like having Blender stream and I'm pulling myself back from really having a workout stream. But I'm actually going to be working on making like a lot of meshes and hopefully animated meshes because that would look so much better. But for that I gotta learn Blender, but I do not even have time for that. I mean, I have like 100 or like less than 100 days left for the series to get over, so I think I'm gonna be doing something. If push did come to shove, I might spend like 20 whole days just working on Unreal and actually just working on Blender to make meshes. I gotta start working on the designing part as well on what kind of game am I going to be making by the end of the series. I'm mostly excited for the next series where I work on making a chatbot. I'm pretty sure I will be using Python then. Okay, bind. So I'm gonna go with bind action that requires my action name, which in this case it's gonna be my summon action. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with something like a e-trigger event, which is gonna be something like started. If a summon action has started on this object, st event started. If a summon action has been started on this object, I want to do what this function, which is called the summon, tells me to do, ending with a semicolon. And just gonna kind of remove these typos that I had from here. Here we go. Okay, you got this. You're truly dedicated. Honestly, I appreciate your long share. That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, ACTION. Did I spell bind action correct? Let's kind of copy that and paste it here. I think it's correct, guys. I'm gonna help in Python AI stuff, bro. And bro, guys, I can't actually wait for that. That would be like so much fun because I actually do not like software development or like making games in general. The reason I did like go through this entire series is because I already created a series. My actual goal was when I started this series was to kind of combine Python and C++ together to make some kind of a generated AI inside, or like give my NPC the brains of, for example, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or like a generative AI in general. But I think like 80 days after I started the series, some of you did tell me that some of you guys did tell me that generative AI is not really the same as game AI, and both are like kind of different. So I was like, oh shoot. I mean, I think it's fine though. Okay, because this was kind of fun as well. That said, I'm gonna go with something like a Tom. Alright, perfect. Once I'm done with this, I'm gonna add another comment that says something like bind C function or C action. Now I'm gonna go with enhance it with component that points towards something like bind action. Okay, which requires a parameter of my, I think, summon action. What up, guys? I might not really need summon here. That's summon action. Wait, I might need to go with my I might need to go in my header files and let's say add a U property. No, wait, C does come under my summon action. Okay, I might want to do. Let's delete this. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. There. So, if my summon action has started on this object, I want to do this. What this function tells me to do. In the other hand, I'm gonna go to a bunch of Control C's, Control Shift C. There. I'm gonna go all the way up here, and I'm gonna go with something like C underscore. Let's think. Okay, C pressed, C released, depending on the function. I could go with C underscore released. Okay, should this be C underscore pressed though? Okay, let's go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this all the way up here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change this to something like C underscore pressed. There we go. Okay, that's going to be so easy. You can give it commands for it to act in the game. That actually sounds so cool. And guys, it's so annoying that I gotta like kind of tilt my entire head towards the left. Which language is actually C++. Yeah, and guys, what I was saying, it's so annoying that I gotta tilt my head towards the left to see in my window. I just used like a brilliant idea to like just switch the positions of my chat. Okay, now I wouldn't have to like kind of tilt my head around. Okay, that's it. Let's hit Control S to save the code. Started, completed. Okay, now let's hit Control S. And then let me go ahead and move on to my Unreal Engine. In my Unreal Engine's IMC default, I'm gonna go ahead and click the plus icon and add a summon action, which I did not have. Okay, very strange. Let's go up here. I'm gonna go to my Tom, and then I'm gonna go ahead and type something like input. In my input, I do not have a summon action. That's strange. I'm positive I created one. Summon. Oh, I did not save the code. Guys, always make sure to save the code. Let's go with Control Alt F11. Let's compile the code real quick. There we go. Let's wait for this to compile. Kill process tom.c. Wait, hold up, guys. Did I kind of mess something up? There is no way that's it takes that long till I compile something. Let's remove this. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code. Whoops. Let's hit Control S to save. Control S. Oh. Sure, I guess let's wait. This is not how we save the code. I just want to save. I don't want to like save as. Control S. Control S. I guess I'll save it on my desktop for the time being. How did it... Guys, that just went above my head, whatever just happened. Okay, let's go with something like input now. After I hit Control Alt F11. Because did I like do something wrong here? Wait, can't I hit Control Alt F11? I guess we do it the manual way. Let's live compile. That doesn't work either. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of exit this and run the code through Visual Studio. Okay, so it says build started. It's definitely another silly mistake up here. Bind summon action. This does not look like C++ anymore. This looks like C++, not the C++ file. And it's taking a long time to compile the code as well. I wonder why. Okay. Maybe I try building. I cannot build because it's still running. Okay, I guess let's just wait for it to be done. Nope. Is there a way to exit this thing, or should I like close my entire program? Okay, the build must be stopped before closing the program. How do I stop the build? Build, run code analysis, cancel, there we go. Then I want to go ahead and build my project. Is anything wrong? Okay, is it gonna succeed? Oh, it's a long build. How? Everything looks correct here, to be honest. How's it such a long build? Okay, I guess it's some... I think it's like a basic mistake. Let me cancel this real quick. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with a bunch of Control C's. Okay, there we go. Let's go with a bunch of Control Z's before I had my bind action here. There, now, can I hit Control S? Finally, I can hit Control S. Can I run the code? I can go ahead and run the code as well. The thing that might have gotten me an error could be my T subclass off. Okay, build is already running. Wait for the existing script to terminate. Oh, I see. Could it be because I have my dodge the enemy project open up here? Okay, let's kind of exit that. Wait, in my summon function. Yeah, it was definitely because of that. It says one failed though, but okay, I had to add a if statement. I think that was like for protection. I'm gonna go with something like if a pair of parentheses. This is not how we add the if statements here. Gonna hit Control. Let's go and exit my entire Visual Studio. Let's go ahead and open Visual Studio again. Let's go with enemy AI logic. Okay, we're just kind of refreshing Visual Studio. There we go. And then I'm going to right click this and kind of open my dodge the enemy as well, because I think I missed a tiny thing up here. a tiny detail when it came to my summon function. Okay, if world and B is currently being pressed, so if my C is being pressed and summon Lisa does exist, that's when I'm gonna go ahead and implement this logic. Okay, so that's where I had like a small mistake. Let's go ahead and add a statement here. If a cross parentheses, if my world does exist and my summon Lisa exists, let's go with something like summon Lisa. Okay, if the two of them does exist, that's when I'm going to go ahead and do something. I want to go ahead and implement this logic. This makes so much more sense for some reason. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the code real quick. There we go. Finally, it like runs the code faster. It says spell failed, though one failed. Okay, in my header files, does anything failed? So, other compilation error. So it's a compiling error. Bat.cs development. Okay, think. Did I get this error before? Have I ever gotten this error? Visual Studio make.target 45. I got this exact same error. Wait, is my okay, it is all in caps. Okay, so it says enemy AI logic, unbuilt project, enemy AI logic, development. Interesting. Okay, done building project. It failed. I wish it said me what error. Am I just blind to see what error it said me? Build. How do you increase the configuration? Like, it's so small, I can't see a thing. Okay. Oh, it says C press. There we go. It kind of said me where I messed up. In my C++ file, there's C pressed. Okay, so C pressed, C released. They're not the memory address. Let's give it the memory address. I'm going to go ahead and add an address of operator. Let's add an address of operator here as well, and the address of operator here. There we go. That should fix it. Let's go ahead and hit Control S to save the code, run the code. Okay, now it should work. I'm positive. Okay, still a tiny error. Let's see what. At least that one error was fixed. Error linked to 9.0 unresolved external symbol protected void a declared atom c void blah blah. What I'm actually it's a fatal error. Unresolved externals. If auto scroll all the way up, it does not pinpoint towards a specific error. I mean, let's go with something like a control C, copy that. I might go ahead and get Claude here. Let's go ahead and bring Claude up here real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this, go with your printer and see something like this. Hey, I get this error. Oh guys, I feel like this is genius. I could have just gotten my program and my error in Claude and read it. Lincoln error. Link 1 done, 2 done, 3 done, the fourth one. Resolve blah blah white C++ question mark C plus reference public. Okay, unresolved void. Did I add my program in the wrong place? To unresolved externals local time. Okay, I still did not understand a thing in this thing. Okay, how old are you right now and how old were you when you started programming? Actually, I am like 18 years old. I turned like 18 I think last month and I started programming when I was 17, so basically 6 months ago. Let's see, so programming progress, we're getting closer. This is a linker error. It means that your code is declaring C++ and C release, but they're not oh my god, guys, I'm so stupid. Okay, I forgot. Hold up, guys. Completely erase that off your memory. Where I basically messed up on was, I have my RMB function. I'm gonna add a comment that says that I'm gonna go ahead and define my C function as well. How did I forget to do this? This is so stupid. I'm gonna go with something like void atom, which is going to be represented, which is going to use a scope resolution operator to get a hold of my C underscore pressed function. Where when my C is being pressed, I want to go ahead and do something. I want to set my boolean variable of is C pressed to be equal to true, ending with a semicolon. Then just to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Kind of paste it here. Change this to false. Lowercase false. There. Okay. Alright, perfect. Now let's hit Control S to save the code. This is gonna work. How did I forget these things? Morning, Leon. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, I guess we're getting closer now. C_pressed. Documentation. Note C previous definition of atom. Is that a spelling mistake? Pressed B C pressed. Tom C pressed. Oh, I see. This is going to be released. Okay, be very careful when you guys copy paste stuff or copy paste one function. Okay, this is gonna work. There we go, result succeeded. Finally, let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine here, which it automatically opens. Let's wait for it to open. While it's opening, just gonna sit back and kind of relax off. There we go. Let's remember my choices and kind of extend this thing up. Alright up, guys. There we go. Now I'm gonna go to my entire project in my content drawer. I'm gonna go to something like content and kind of open my map up. And then let's go ahead and decrease my content browser. Click Tom, type input. I want to go ahead and add an input here. This is going to be IA_summon, which I apparently did not create. Let's go to something like input, right click. Let's add an action. I'm going to go with something like action. This is going to be called something like IA_summon. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my IMC defaults. There's no way I need to add one for my... Well, I mean, I guess it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and add this for my IA look, where I'm going to add a mouse. Because I'm like, did I not save this thing? So annoying when I don't save my stuff. This is going to be something like mouse's y-axis. And then I'm going to go ahead and set one for my RMB. This is going to be my right mouse button. And then this is going to be for my summon action, where I want to summon every time I click C on my keyboard. Okay, I'm going to hit firstly Control S to save the code. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I save everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's say... Okay, this is a newer part. This is a newer part. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and type summoning in my Tom. I'm going to go to my Tom, type something like summoning. There, my summon action is going to be IA_summon. My summon Lisa is going to be the blueprint that I use because I don't want my Lisa to be inside of my level before I summon it. So I'm going to add a static mesh for my Lisa's class as a blueprint. So I'm going to right click and create a blueprint class for Lisa. Instead of going with my Lisa, I'm going to go with something like BP_Lisa. Then let's go ahead and create the class. Now this is my blueprint class. In my blueprint class, I'm going to go ahead and add a static mesh. The reason I didn't do this in my Unreal's level is because I need to literally like get my Lisa from my C++ files inside of my level. So I have a Lisa as this character already spawned, but I don't want it to be already spawned. This is going to be something like Lisa. Fine, I'll go with cube. This cube. Nope. Wait, in my content drawer. Okay, I have my Blender's QLB files where I have my NPCs. I have Nietzsche Huang, I have Common NPC, I have Dragon. I do not have Lisa here. Where's my Lisa at? I'm gonna kind of right click this and delete that. Hold up, guys, let me just kind of go to my Blender's QLB files. Oh my gosh, there's no way I delete that really good mesh. Fine, I guess I'm gonna open my Blender here. Let's go ahead and find Lisa. Shrine. Lisa blend, I'm gonna go ahead and open that. Let's grab my Blender here. That's practically my Lisa mesh who I apparently deleted. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of change the name because this is really not gonna be Lisa now. Let's change this to something like female. No, I don't want this to be called female. I guess I'll be Lisa because I need to. I'm gonna be creating another Blender's model where I do have a literal female mesh with the anatomy in it. So I don't think I need that. I could change my this mesh's name. Let's go with something like maybe Lucy. Guys, I'm really bad with names here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of add that here. And if I were to double click my Lucy's blend, it's gonna be this. If you guys did play like Genshin Impact, this is what I used my Lisa's as reference up here. Whoops. If I go to y-axis, fine, I guess. Today's the day where I'm getting so many errors. It's so annoying. I gotta keep fixing these things up. Okay. Load factory settings. Package link libraries. Report missing files. Find missing files. I'm gonna go on my desktop. I'm gonna move on to my Blender items. And in case you guys sent me a chat or like a chat, a comment, and I'm not like reading the comment, that is because I don't have it open for the time being. Give me a sec, guys. Gonna open it real quick. Find missing files. There we go. If you guys have been like, if you guys did ever play Genshin Impact, this is basically the Lisa's mesh that I was trying to replicate. Not like completely replicate because of copyright issues. Just get a basic structure of it. This is what I came up with. But I'm not gonna go ahead and call this Lisa in that case. It's gonna be called Lucy. Let's go with start. Lucy underscore blend. I'm gonna go to desktop. I'm gonna go ahead and save it in my desktop. And then let's kind of exit this. Well, I guess I already have a Lucy blend, so I'm gonna delete this. I wanted to save the QGB. Let me get my chat back up here again. There we go. Okay, I'm glad I didn't get any chats. Do I have the QLB file for this? I do not. So I'm gonna go to files. I'm gonna go to something like export. I want to export it as a QLTF file. This is going to be called something like designers for QLTF. I'm going to go to desktop and kind of save it in my desktop. Usually people save it in their documents, but I feel like it's the same thing. It's not really the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go to something like extend this file, export as a QLF file. I'm going to go ahead and save this in my desktop again. There, in case you guys don't know why am I saving as a QLB file and not as a FBX, is because sometimes when we save it as an FBX file, or most commonly if we save it as an FBX file and we try loading it inside Unreal Engine, we don't really get the textures of it, but the QLB file is like with its textures. So if I, for example, open my Niji Huang's mesher, which did not have any textures, so I picked the wrong stuff. Let's go to Common NPCs. There we go. In my Common NPC, I get a materials folder which has all the colors that I used, all the textures that I used for it, and a static mesh, which has basically my mesh in it. Guys, I think I did way too much explaining for no apparent reason. Okay, gonna go ahead and grab this. Lisa and Lucy both go inside my NPCs section. This is gonna be Lisa. And that's gonna be Lucy. You gotta make trees and all that stuff as well, including backgrounds. Then let's go ahead and get this stuff up here. Okay, hi, how are you doing, TSB? TSY, I appreciate you joining the stream. Isn't it pronounced as Tisber? I feel like I'm kind of awful at pronouncing it. They look more realistic now. That actually sounds so cool, guys, because when I first started this, I was like, I think I still am like completely awful when it comes to making meshes, but then I think I'm kind of improving at them. That's it. I'm going to go to content. Let's go to something like Blender's QLB files in my NPCs. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Lisa's FBX or my QLB file and my Lucy's QLB file. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then let's go ahead and open my chat back up here. There we go. Okay, that was about it. Now let's go to my I forgot what's this called again. My blueprint for my Lisa's class. I'm gonna click plus here and let's go with something like Lisa. Lisa underscore body. Honestly, should I go with Lucy? I might go with Lucy this time. Live loads. What's this? Nope. I mean, fine, I guess. There we go. And I just have half a body. One more annoying thing, guys. Today is like a day where I gotta like constantly fix errors and debug stuff. It's so annoying. Okay, let's exit this. I'm gonna open my Blender meshes. I'm gonna go ahead and click my Lucy blend. Wait, not Lucy blend, my Lisa blend. Right here. And then let's go ahead and kind of extend this from here a bit. There we go. Let's extend this a little. And it decreases so you guys can see from the left as well. I'm going to click my mesh and then let's go to something like here. I don't have any modifiers. I thought that I did not kind of add my mirror modifier up here. Wait, so... This is getting so confusing. Hold up, guys. Let's open my Unreal Engine real quick. I'm going to go to map. I'm going to go to content. I'm going to go to something like my contents section. Blender QLF file, NPCs. Let's go to something like Lisa. Let's go to static mesh. It's called Cube 1. It's not called Lisa. It's called Cube 1. Is it half a mesh or the entire mesh? It's the whole mesh. Let's cut. Excuse me, guys. Let me kind of rename this. Lisa. Wait, is it renamed as a... Okay, there we go. I thought that I kind of messed up. And then I'm gonna go to something like Lucy. Okay, let's check if it's the entire body. Nope. It's just half the body, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Gonna go ahead and exit that. Don't save, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and get my solution explorer back up here. There, let's go with Lucy underscore blend. Gonna go ahead and grab that here. I'm pretty sure I like merged the close with the actual mesh and added my mirror modifier as well. Gonna click this. I did not add my mirror modifier. Why did I not apply them? Seriously? Okay, and then I'm gonna go to file. I'm gonna go to something like export as a QLF file. It's called Lucy in my desktop. I want to go ahead and save it. How long have you been working at Unreal Engine 5? Actually, I do have a playlist. You could like check my Unreal Engine's playlist. Although, let me actually check it because I'm kind of curious as well. What up, guys? Let me just go all the way up here. Okay, let me go ahead and just grab Claude here as well. So I have a tab to kind of get this. So technically, if you guys do go to my playlist and kind of scroll down, I have a playlist for Unreal Engine 5. I have been working on Unreal Engine for exactly 15 days. That's actually kind of fun. This is like my 50th day stream here that I'm like currently streaming. Okay, and like that's about it. I think it's like 50-ish days. Let's go all the way up here. Now that I saved my Lucy in my visuals, I'm gonna save. Okay, now that I saved it in my desktop, I'm gonna open my solution explorer again. I'm gonna kind of delete this size. Okay, that is Lucy underscore blend 1. I'm gonna go ahead and just close that up. Open my QLB files, go to NPCs, go to something like Lucy, delete that, drag my completed version, exit that. Then I'm gonna open Unreal Engine. I'm gonna go ahead and open my chats. Gonna extend Unreal Engine from there. Delete the previous mesh, go to content, go to something like my content drawer. You see, right click. I'm gonna go ahead and force delete this. Did not delete, fine. I guess I'm gonna delete it manually. Let's go ahead and delete this. Force delete, delete that. Force delete, delete my cylinder as well. I'm gonna go ahead and force delete. And then I'm gonna go up here, force delete my entire static mesh. And then I'm gonna go ahead and delete my entire folder. Whoa. Okay, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go back to content. I'm gonna go back to Blender QLB files. I'm gonna go to NPCs. And then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of select my QLB file from my right here. I'm gonna go to NPCs, gonna grab Lucy, and kind of paste it here. And then let's import all. Okay, finally, then I'm gonna go to my map, gonna go to content drawer, gonna go to NPCs, gonna go to Lucy, gonna go to static mesh. Kind of just drag my body. Wait, isn't my body and my clothes attached? Because oh my, every individual component is separated because I did not join them. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, at least I have my components. I'll join them later on. It's fine. I guess I'm not gonna be using Lucy this stream. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my class again. This makes it so complicating to like close it all. Let's go to my C++ class. That's Lisa. Have my look function. Let's create a blueprint class. I already have a blueprint class. Let's call this something like BP. Create class. Add C++. Hold up. Wait, why am I adding a C++ class? Oh my gosh. I created a C++ class by mistake. Naming it blueprint underscore C++. Okay, hiding pixels, hiding Minhater, is that a pronunciation name? I appreciate you guys joining the stream. Why am I making so many mistakes this stream? Okay, mistakes aside, why am I having so many errors to fix this stream? It's getting so tedious now. Fine, I guess I'm going to Control Alt L to get my Solution Explorer, go under my enemies, go to my BP underscore Lisa. Gonna go ahead and delete this. Let's remove, fine. Let's go with BP underscore Lisa here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and click content drawer. I have my blueprints. That is apparently not my blueprint class. Okay, right click Lisa, and then I'm gonna go with something like create blueprint class. This is gonna be called BP underscore Lisa. I went with C++, that's what I did. Name already exists, which means I already have a class. How can I find my blueprint classes here? Content drawer is the place where I can find them. If I were to go to content, I have my BP underscore Lisa. There, I'm gonna go to my viewport. In my viewport, I'm gonna click my static mesh, add a mesh. This is gonna be called something like Lisa mesh. There we go. Gonna get it a bit in front. Gonna click something like R, actually E to face towards my pivot point, 90 degrees. I mean, there we go. Then I'm gonna hit W, gonna come in front. Gonna go lower, gonna go towards the left, kind of get inside that capsule. Am I really in the capsule? Nope. There, let's kind of get inside the capsule. There, go a bit back. I am perfectly inside the capsule now, perfect. Okay, and that's like right about it. I'm gonna go to my Lisa's self. I'm gonna search for something like summoning, S-U-M-M. Maybe not Lisa's self. I'm gonna compile this for the time being. I'm gonna go to something like my Tom. Content drawer, Tom. I'm gonna go ahead and create a blueprint class for Tom as well. Blueprint class. Not C++. I keep clicking that C++ button. This is gonna be something like BP underscore Tom, where I'm gonna go ahead and create a class. And then let's say I'm gonna go ahead and find something like summon. Summon action is gonna be IA underscore summon. This is gonna be, I have two BP underscore Lisas, but no idea which Lisa is it really. Fine, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this C++ class. How do you remove this thing? Fine, there's no delete, there's no remove. Guess I gotta do it manually. Okay, let's go with Control Alt F11 real quick. BP, do I not have blueprints here? This makes it way too hard. I removed my blueprints. How do I delete a blueprint class? This is why we gotta be really careful when actually doing this stuff. Let's open this, let's open that. I wanna get rid of this. What if I hit X? Backspace. Neither works. There's object, size, auto, copy, reference viewer. Reload, load, select this. Yeah. It's already a blueprint. It's already a C++ class. It keeps adding. I mean, I guess I gotta learn. I might watch a video on how to remove this. For the time being, I'm just gonna leave it to I'm just gonna leave it to chance. Okay, let's compile this real quick. I'm gonna run the code. If I would hit C. Wait, did I just summon that or was it like pre-summoned? Oh wait, I gotta delete that. Okay, C did not work, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it to number 2. Compile. Now if I were to go ahead and run the code, if I were to spam C, nothing happens because in my IMC defaults, I have C. I have my actor that I want to summon. The thing that I'm missing is what was the thing that I was missing? Hold up guys, let me think. Worlds. Place in world or summon. There we go. So my auto possess AI. Now let's hit Control Alt F11 to compile the code real quick. Let's wait for it to compile. Okay. Once it's done compiling, I'm going to go ahead and run the code, hit C. C does not work yet. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my summoning. Let's go with something like summon. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change this to Lisa number 1. And then let's kind of compile. Did I compile? There. Now let's go ahead and run the code, hit C. See, it doesn't spawn anyone though. Maybe I gotta hydrate my lips first, and then it's maybe the logic that I gotta fix. Alright guys. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to my C++ file. The annoying thing is that I created a C++ class and I have no idea how do I remove this. Animation. I added content for my summon function. Nav mesh. I do not need a navigation mesh just yet. In my C++ file, I have a summon action, I have a C start, I have a C release. Fine, I might not need the 2 of these actions up here. Instead, I'm just going to be needing my summon action. Now, let's go to Unreal Engine. Hit Control Alt F11. Let's wait for this to compile the code. Okay, that's it. Successfully patched. I'm going to go ahead and run my code. Hit C. Does not spawn. One annoying thing is that I have a C++ class called Blueprint that made it so hard. Can I go with at least rename? Can't even rename it? Manage action, manage tags, create blueprint lead. How do I delete this? Well, maybe I could go ahead and open my class back up here. Maybe not class, maybe I'm going to go to map. I'm going to go to something like summon. Did I spell summon wrong? Oh my bad, for my Thompson instance, there we go. This is going to be BP for Lisa. Now I'm going to hit Control Alt F11 to compile the code. Guys, I cannot really read Hindi properly. That's it. Let's go ahead and hit exit. Let's run the code. Let's hit C. Well, I guess I spawned Lisa, I just couldn't see her. See. Okay, my character is spawning. The reason I cannot see it is because now it's my meshes issue. So I think I did everything up here. All I gotta do is make my character visible on my window. So I'm gonna go with summoning. Let's go with SUMMO and ING. Lisa. Okay, so this is what I chose for my summoning. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add one for my auto AI, possess, spawn, in-world, or spawn. Then I'm gonna go ahead and compile. I'm gonna run the code, hit C. She's chasing you. Let's get a bit further. Wait. Did I just see obstacles? Did I see the invisible character? Okay, they are here. I just can't see them. What up, guys? They are here. I cannot see my I cannot see Lisa. Gotta make it visible for my window. How would I do that? Let's think. What if I go with something like possess AI? Let's go with something like inward or placed. And now if I run the code, I'm gonna go with C. Still chasing me, okay, I guess. Auto possess is gonna be not player 0. It's gonna be set to disabled. Think, why can my Lisa spawn in my window? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Maybe the thing that I am messing on is I gotta change the summoning here to be to Lisa number 2. I'm gonna summon my Lisa number 2. Compile. And then I'm gonna go here in my Tom's instance, type something like summon, change this to Lisa number 2 as well, kind of get this a bit back. Hit Control Alt F11 to compile. Okay, we make a game. Honestly, I am like working on the AI logic part of the game. It's so annoying. I mistakenly created a C++ class called blueprint underscore Lisa. Now it's so hard to... It was the wrong class. It's summoned, everything is correct. I just kind of messed up. Like, it's so hard to like distinguish between who I really want to spawn. If I created a class called BP underscore Lisa, like I want to get rid of this class. How do I get rid of this class? Let's see. I see manage, I see asset actions, reload, blah blah. Okay, I guess I'm gonna ask Claude. Let's say something like, so I created a C++ class for my Lisa. By mistake, I wanted to create a blueprint class, but I named my C++ class called BP called blueprint. Okay, how can I delete my CPP class question mark? Where are you from? Honestly, I am like from abroad, but I can't give the exact country. That's recognizing common and real mistakes. No problem. Here's how you delete this stuff. Close everything. Unreal Visual Studio. Delete the files. Go to your project files. Delete blueprint.h, blueprint.c++ in your project. Delete these binary folders. Binary folder, intermediate, source content. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's go ahead and open this. First, I'm going to close my Unreal Engine. Everything is saved. I'm positive everything is saved. Everything isn't saved. Guys, I want to make sure everything is saved. Gonna Control S. And close. Final save. Then I'm gonna go to my Unreal Engine. Bro, where are you from? Delhi? Honestly, I am like from abroad, but I can't give my actual country name. Let's go ahead and hit save. Sure. Save them all. Delete. Now, being very careful, I'm gonna get my solution explorer here. I'm gonna go to documents. I'm gonna go to Unreal projects. I'm gonna go to my enemy AI logic. I'm gonna go to content. BP underscore Lisa. I'm gonna go ahead and let's say delete this because this looks like a C++ project. BP underscore Tom Lisa. Nope. This is the right one. Input game items developer. Where's my C/C++ classes? I see binaries Win64. Intermediate. Build project. Okay, I have source. Enemy AI logic. Hold up, guys. So in my content drawer, collections. Nope. Developers. Nope. Game items. Okay, I have a bunch of game items. Inputs. I have a bunch of inputs. I have. Let's just delete this. And then map. I'm gonna go back. Gonna go here. Right click. Let's go ahead and hit something like show more options. Generate Visual Studio project files. And guys, this might be the final thing that I'm going to do because I do got to study for my college right now as well. So I might end the stream once I'm done with this part. Today's stream has been like me just figuring out these bugs. It was like so annoying, but it was kind of fun as well, to be honest. Okay, let's open up my Visual Studio now. Enemy AI logic. Fingers crossed. Let's run the code. Let's run the code. I shouldn't be getting any error because I did save everything. There we go, results exceeded, perfect. Now this should open my Visual Studio up as well. Let's wait for my Visual Studio to open. There we go. Okay, let's just wait for this to open real quick. Okay, it's taking its sweet time to open. There we go. Okay. Okay, once it's open, I'm gonna go ahead and extend this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say, fine, remember my choices. Now, fingers crossed here, I'm gonna go to content. I still have my BP underscore Lisa C++ classes. No way, I deleted my wrong file. Alright guys, I think I'll just call it a day here. This has been a way too annoying experience up here. How do you delete this class? I cannot understand. I have BP underscore Dom, but I don't have BP underscore Lisa. It's so annoying. I have it in my C++ classes place. Why can't I delete it from my C++ class? Hey, at least I can run my code. That part's correct. At least I can run my code. Okay, I can't summon anything. That's pretty obvious because I gotta go ahead and fix a few things. But I mean, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just call it a day here because I'm way too exhausted. I don't want to like completely fatigue my brain out because I do gotta work on my college stuff as well now. That's it. Let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. If you guys really enjoyed the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, liking helps my algorithm, sharing makes you smile, subscribing so I get you on top. That's it. I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. And also you guys can get access to my Discord server through my bio or by typing exclamation Discord on chat. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.